Hello and welcome back to our class. So our agenda for today is to answer some of the exercises wherein we can enhance our SQL query skills using a DBMS such as MySQL. Okay, so let's start. Okay. So in this test or in this examination or exercise, we have the SQL dump file which was already present in your MySQL client. Okay? But if you don't have that SQL dump file, I'll be providing you with that on the description below. Great. So uh, in this test, we'll be answering these queries wherein some of these queries will be specifying what type or what will be viewed in our DBMS. So let's start by exploring our database that was used in this test. Okay, so first I'll just log into my MySQL. So the password, of course, and then there we go. Okay, the first thing that we want to do is to familiarize ourselves with the DBMS or the database that we'll be working upon. Okay, so first we'll have to show the databases. Okay, and then there we go. We'll be using the convenience underscore store for this test. Okay, so we'll be typing in here use convenience store. Okay, and then we're inside the convenience store database. So let me just maximize that so you can actually view the query. Okay, so once that we are inside the database that we'll be working, okay, we have to know what tables are inside of it and what is the structure of those tables. Okay, so the query for that is to show tables. Okay, so there we go. These are the tables inside the convenience store database. So if you don't, or if you are currently having issues regarding you can display any tables, that the reason might be you didn't put in use convenience store to indicate that the DBMS will be using convenience store database on this test. Okay, so here's the tables inside our convenience store database. So we have branch, customer type or cost type, customer, employees, invoice, item, manufacturer, supplier, and warehouse. Okay, so we have 9 tables inside this database, and we'll be exploring those tables by one by one, and then retrieving the uh, assigned task in each item here. Okay, so the first task is to write a query to display the structure of the table item. Okay, so if you want to display the structure of the table item, all you have to do is to describe. Okay, so you just type in there describe and then the table name, describe item. Okay, and then there we go. So we have here the structure of the table item. So that is the first uh, first query in here. Okay, so we'll just type in here the query. Okay, desk item. Okay, so that's the answer for that one. Okay, so next would be query to display the list of employees with the letter N on the last letter of their address. Okay, so the first table that we just explored is the item. So we might as well do every table here just to familiarize ourselves where the table will connect to each other later on. So I'll just type in here desk branch. Okay, and then another one. Okay, so here's the structure of the table branch. only branch number and branch address. Okay. For the customer type, of course, we'll just type in here desk cost type, then semicolon. Okay. We just have two uh fields in our cost type table. Okay. So and so on, we'll just have to explore and familiarize ourselves by using this desk or describe. Okay. So in customer, we have three fields in this table: customer number, name, and type. Okay. So the customer type might be used to connect to this customer type field on cost type table. Okay. So we might want to take note of that one. Okay. And then employees, invoice, we'll skip the item because we just did that. And then the manufacturer. Okay. So desk, employees. Okay. So we have four. Okay. Desk, invoice. Okay. Okay. So we have five here. Okay. So we can see the foreign keys that might be of some good use later on if we will be connecting each table. Okay, so we have employee number, customer number, item number, which was already displayed earlier on other tables. And then amount tendered is, maybe we can use that one later. Okay, so invoice, and then manufacturer, supplier, and warehouse. Let's try to display this structure. Desk, manufacturer. Okay, so we have three. Okay, supplier, and then okay, we have three, and then desk, warehouse. Okay, so there we just have two fields on this warehouse table. So we can take note of those fields that might be of some good use to connect to other tables, but we'll just have to rely on this description here just to familiarize ourselves on the each table that we have. Okay, but for the second item that we have here, we have to display the list of employees with the letter N on their last letter of their address. Okay, so we'll be using just employees. Okay, so in the employees table, we have employee number, name, and address, and then the branch number. Maybe we can explore first the content of the employees. Okay, so select asterisk from employees. Okay, so okay, and then there we go. So we have three rows in this employees. So the task is to display the employees, okay, with their address that ends with letter N. Okay, so we'll just be using select asterisk from employees where their address is, okay, so it's not specified whether it is on a constant value, so we'll just use like. Okay, so like, and then wildcard. Okay, so like whatever is on the first letters, as long as the last letter is letter N on their address. So percentage sign or wildcard N, and then there we go. Okay, so there we have two employees. Okay, so this is the query to display the okay, so display the employees with the address, the last letter of letter N. Okay, so that is the answer for this second block here. Okay, so the second block and then the fourth block is the same, so we'll just have to add the text here the same. Okay, and then we'll just have to go on third. Okay. Query to display the list of names of customers, names only, with their customer type description. So the customer type description is located at the table cost type. Okay, so the customer table doesn't have the customer type description, which is present in the customer type table. Okay, so we'll just have to pull this field here and another one here. Okay, so we'll be using this query. Okay, so select, okay, from table customer. Okay, customer, I think customer or customers. Let me just double check. Okay, customer singular. Okay, customer dot cost name. Okay, and then from customer type table, we'll be pulling uh, the field description. Okay, cost type and dot description. Okay, so there we go. So we'll be pulling the cost name from table customer and the description from cost type from table customer and then table cost type. Okay, so comma cost type. Okay, and then here we'll be specifying a connection between those two tables. So we'll be using where, okay, from customer, okay, it will be connecting to the cost type table using cost type, I think. Okay, let me just double check. There we go, cost type. Okay, it will connect to the cost type table with the same field name. Okay, so customer dot cost type is equals to cost type or customer type dot cost type. Okay, so is there any other uh, conditions? No more. Okay, so that's it. We'll just have to paste this one or enter this one, and then there we go. We have the customer name together with the description. Okay, so Renante, VIP, Dante, VIP, and others. Okay, so we can just copy this one here. Okay, and then paste it on our. There we go. Oops. Okay, so I'll just remove the spacing. Okay, so you can just delete this one if you don't want to see those. Okay, or you can just type directly. Okay, so there we go. The fourth one is the same as the second block here. Okay, all the details of employee with the letter N. So we'll just skip that one. Okay, so this is the answer for the third block. So the next block is to display the list of item names with their prices ranging from 12 pesos to 100 pesos. Okay, so we have two conditions. It must be more than 12 pesos and less than 100 pesos. Okay, so the names of the item with their price. Okay, so the table item have the uh, fields here, item number, name, price. So we'll just pulling this to here, item name and then item price. Okay, so the query for that is to select the item name underscore name comma item underscore price, okay, from table item or items. I think items, sorry for this one. Singular. Okay, item. Okay, so item from item. Okay, where item price is greater than let's say 11, so it will fall from 12 to 100. Okay, greater than 11 and and item price is less than 101, or you can just in here 101. So from 12 to 100. Okay, so we'll just try this one, and then there we go. So we have this query here to display the item name and then the item price of items with a price ranging from 12 to 100. Okay, so I'll just copy this one and then paste it in our box here. Okay. Okay, so you can just delete the uh, where item price is more than 11 and item price is less than 101. So that's the answer uh, for this box here. Okay, so moving on to the other box. Okay, we are tasked to create a query to display the manufacturer details, okay, in sentence form using the format name of manufacturer which resides in the address of the manufacturer. So display it as manufacturer details. Okay, so name of the manufacturer and then address of the manufacturer, and then the title would be manufacturer details. Okay, so we'll be using concat or concatenate on this one. Okay, so we'll just have to display the content of the manufacturer. Okay, select asterisk from manufacturer. Oops, sorry. Okay, from, I forgot the from. From manufacturer, and then there we go. We'll just have to display the name of the manufacturer which resides in the address of the manufacturer. So we'll just have to select and then concat, okay, and then open and close parenthesis, type everything that you want to display. So concat manufacturer underscore name, comma, and then we have a string here which resides in, and then comma, and then we'll just have to mention the manufacturer details. Here there's for address. Okay, and we'll just have to display this as let's say manufacturer details. Okay, okay, and then from manufacturer. Okay, we'll just have to use this query, and then there we go. We have the in sentence form the name of the manufacturer which resides in Lingayen. Okay, and everything else is displayed here. Okay, and it is entitled as manufacturer details. Okay, so we'll just have to copy this one and then paste it on our box here. Okay, so there, it's done. It's simple as that. Okay, so we just use concat, okay, for displaying in a sentence form. Okay, next, query to display the names of employees together with the item that they sold. Okay, so every transaction is of course supported with an invoice. Okay, so the name of the employee and then the item of the 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 item that they sold in the transaction. Okay, so we'll just have to rely on three tables here. Okay, the table for employee to pull out the employee name, the table for items to pull out the name of the item, and then the table for invoice to connect and be a basis for the transaction. Okay, so we'll be pulling out, of course, the emp name, okay, from employees. Okay, from employees, we'll be mentioning the emp name, okay, together with the item name, okay, and then no more, that's it, the name of the employee and then the item that they sold. Okay, so this will be retrieved from tables employees, table item, and then we'll be relying on invoice to connect these two here because employees and item doesn't have any foreign keys to each other. Okay, and the invoice will also act as the basis of the transactions that they perform. Okay, so from employees, item, and invoice, okay, where, okay, Okay, let's connect the employees to the invoice first. Okay, employees dot no is equal to invoice dot no. Okay, so that's the primary key of the employees table connecting to the foreign key of the invoice table. Okay, so invoice no. Okay, and then another connection would be from invoice, okay, connecting to the items using item number as the foreign key, connecting to the item table with the primary key of item number. Okay, so let's use this one, and then there we go. Okay, so we can see that Sunny sold popcorn mix. He also sold ice candy, and then Brian sold chocolate chips, and so on. Okay, so this is the query for that task in our test. Okay, so let's copy this one and then paste it here. Okay, so maybe we can just put it right there. Okay, so the box is just enough for the uh, query itself. Okay. Okay, the space is enough. Okay, next item. Okay, display the names of employees, the item they sold, and its manufacturer together with the name of the customer who bought it. So it's almost the same as the previous one, but we'll be mentioning the manufacturer of the item and then the customer who bought that item. Okay, so we'll go back here and then we'll just use this as a basis on that one. Okay, but we'll be pulling out the customer name and then the manufacturer name. Okay, so we'll be selecting, okay, the same employees. We'll be pulling out the field emp name. Okay, and another one would be the item, that item name, and then the manufacturer. Of course, the manufacturer is not included, or the name of the manufacturer is not included in the item, so we'll be uh, retrieving the name of the manufacturer using the table manufacturer. Okay, manufacturer that I think manufacturer name. Yes, manufacturer name, manufacturer underscore name, and then the next is the customer name. Okay, customer that customer cost name. Okay, so that is the four items that this query wants us to display. Okay, the name of employee, the item they sold, the manufacturer of that item, and the customer who bought that item. Okay, so okay, from, okay, employees, item, manufacturer, customer, and then invoice. Okay, so that's it. Next, okay, we'll be specifying bridges for these 5 tables that we have. Okay, so where, okay, let's connect first the employees table using emp no. Okay, connecting to invoice that emp no. Okay, so there we go. And okay, for the item, okay, we'll just use item that item no, or item number, connecting to the same invoice. Okay, that item number. Okay, so that's because the item number and employee number inside the invoice acts as a foreign key for the primary key of the different tables. Okay, so we just connected these 3 tables to each other. Next is let's say customer. Okay, we'll get to the manufacturer later. Okay, and from table customer, okay, cost no, or customer number will be connecting to the same table, cost no. Okay, and then the last one would be connecting manufacturer to these 4 tables, or just one. Okay, so the manufacturer have the foreign key for the item because the item has the foreign key for the manufacturer also. Okay, so and from item, okay, we'll be connecting its let's go back in the first. Okay, we'll be connecting its manufacturer field that acts as a foreign key to the manufacturer number, which acts as the primary key of the manufacturer table. So and item manufacturer underscore number connecting to the manufacturer that manufacturer underscore number. And there we go. There. Okay, so we have the name of the employee, the item that they sold, the manufacturer of that item that they sold, and the customer who bought that item. Okay, so this is the query for that task. Okay, so let's copy this one and then paste it on our box here. Okay, let's remove the spacing and then let's try to minimize the spaces that we have here. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So okay. So that's the query in displaying this task here. Okay. So next, name of the employees, the item they sold for less than 100 pesos, and also include the location of the item which the item was manufactured. Okay, so it's almost the same as the previous one, less the customer. Okay, but with the condition of the item that must have a price of more than or less than 100 pesos. Okay, so let's go for that one. Okay, so it asks us to display the names of employees. So select employees that emp name underscore comma item that item name. Okay, and then the location of the item which it was manufactured. So maybe the manufacturer address is here in the manufacturer. So I'll just type in here manufacturer that manufacturer address. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so we'll be relying on the employees. Okay, oops, employees table, the item table, the manufacturer table, and then the invoice table. Okay, so just 4. Okay, that's the customer. Okay, so there we go. Okay, we'll be connecting to those table using a where clause, where the employees table will connect via its employee number through the invoice.employee number. Okay. Okay. And another one would be from invoice, okay, connecting via the item number equals to item number. Okay, and okay, from item, okay, let's connect to the manufacturer number equal to the manufacturer table, pulling out its manufacturer number. Okay, and remember the condition is that the item must be less than 100 pesos. Okay, so we'll just have to add another condition here. Item price is less than 100. Then there we go. We have this report here. The name of the employee, the item they sold, the location where the item was manufactured. Okay, and then those items are less than 100 pesos, of course. Okay, so this is the query required for that task. Okay, let's copy this one and then paste it here. Okay, so let's remove this spacing, and there we go. We just got 0.7 points. Okay, so another one. Okay. Add a column salary to the table employees. Salary is a field with numerical value limited to 100,000 only. So in having this query, we'll be using alter, okay, because we'll be uh, editing the table employees. So let's alter, okay, alter table employees, or alter employees, sorry, alter employees. Okay, let's add salary, okay, okay, which is a numerical value, so we'll just use int with a limitation of 100,000, so 6 digits, 6. Then there we go. Oops. Oh, sorry. Alter table employees. Table employees. And there we go. We just added the salary field on the table employees. To check that, of course, I just have to describe the employees. Then there we go. Okay. The salary is there. Okay. So the query for this one will be pasted in here. Okay. So that's the query. Alter table employees, add salary 6. Okay. And the next, query to delete a row from employees with an address of the Dagupan city. Okay. So we just have to delete, okay, employees with an address of the Dagupan city. So just one table. We'll just have to work on one table. So we'll be using delete from, okay, employees. Okay. The condition is where the M address is equal to the Dagupan city. Okay. Then, okay, there we go. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have any employees that resides in the Dagupan city. So no records were deleted. Okay, but this query is okay for deletion of employees with an address of the Dagupan city. So this is the correct answer for that one. Okay, so that's it. And then the next one would be display the name of employees and which branch address they sold an item bought by a customer name as Renante. Okay, so it just requests us for the name of the employee and which branch address they sold, okay, an item. Okay, it didn't ask us to display the name of the item. Okay, just the name of the employee and then the branch address that the customer was served. Okay, the name of the customer is Renante. Okay, so we'll just have to select the employees, okay, the emp name, okay, and then the address, okay, address of the branch. Okay, so the branch is located or has the uh, has the structure of branch number and address. Okay, we might use branch number to connect with the employees. Where's the employees table here? Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we'll just have to connect on the invoice. Okay, okay, so just employees that emp name and then branch address. Okay, so that's the requirement. We just have to display the name of employee and then the branch address where a transaction between a customer named as Renante was held. Okay, so from employees and then branch. Okay, and then of course we'll be relying on invoice on this one because the transaction is in there. Okay, as well as the customer okay, table, because we'll be having a condition that relies on customer table. Okay, so employees, branch, invoice, and customer. Okay, how about the address or the item? No more, because no condition was put in place in this one here. Okay, so not unless that they required us to display this one here with a specific item only. So maybe that's okay. Okay, where, okay, employees connecting to the, let's say, branch. Okay, so branch number is equals to branch number. Okay, and then another one would be, and uh, let's connect employee again, okay, to the invoice. Okay, so employee number, okay, underscore number, connecting the invoice, that employee number. Okay, and then another one would be from invoice to customer. Okay, so invoice dot customer number is equals to customer dot customer number, or cost, no, okay, and then the last condition would be uh the customer has a cost name as Renante. Okay, so that's our query for this one. Okay, so that's the result. Okay, Sunny from Dagupan was or sold an item to a customer name as Renante. Okay, so if we want to check here, okay, maybe where's the, okay, okay, customer type Renante. Okay, if we want to display everything inside the invoice, okay, let's just copy this first before it gets lost. Okay, so copy this one here. We'll just double check that on later. Okay, so here, paste it here. There we go. Remove the spacing, remove the end, or the space, the next line. Okay, so we want to display the invoice. Okay, to double check if everything is right, select asterisk from invoice. Okay, so we have here, okay, let's just locate for the customer name as Renante. Okay, so Renante has let's say, okay, customer number 1, okay, is a VIP. So let's just select here, okay, customer number 1. So only one transaction was present with this customer number 1. Okay, and then the employee who served that is employee number 2, which is employee, let's say, where's the content of employee? Sorry. Okay, employee number 2, Sunny. Okay, that's it. So that's the and then the branch address of Sunny. Okay, the branch address of Sunny. Okay, Sunny has a branch number 2, and the branch that we have is where's the branch? Okay, we didn't display the branch addresses, but everything's okay. Okay, so branch number 2. Okay, so next, okay, branch number 2 address. There we go. Dagupan. Okay, and then the last one before the bonus question. Okay, so it only took us around 39 minutes for this, all of those items. Okay, so maybe we can display this one. Okay, display the name of the employee, the item they sold, the customer who bought it, and the supplier which it came from. Okay, this format should be employee name, sold the item to customer, which was distributed by the customer name. Okay, and displayed as transaction details. Of course, that will be on a concat. Okay, so select concat, oops, concat, and then open and close parentheses, and everything inside it will be displayed in this form. Okay, so employee name, from employees, we'll be calling out emp name, okay, okay, comma, and then another string, sold, space, and then comma, item, that item name, okay, comma, 2, okay, 2, oops, 2, and then we'll call out the customer table, cost name, okay, comma, okay, then I'll just have to go on next line on this one, cost name, and then comma, then oops, which was distributed by, and then space, comma, then supplier name. So supplier, that supplier name. I think supplier name is the right field on that one. So let me just double check quick. Okay. Supplier. Where's the supplier? There. Supplier underscore name. Okay. So that's it. The name of the supplier. And display it as transaction details. Okay. So that's the content of that concat. And it will be displayed as transaction details. Okay. And then we'll be relying on tables employees, tables item, tables customer, and then table supplier. Okay, so that's it. I think this, let's see. Okay, employees connecting to uh, each of this one via the invoice, of course, because employees and item and customer and supplier doesn't have any common, not unless they have a middle table that will act as a connector for each of this table. Okay, so we'll just use invoice as the bridge of those table. Okay, so there we go, where employees will be connecting via its employee number in invoice, connecting via its employee number foreign key. Okay, another one would be item. Okay, item connecting to the item or via its item number in the invoice that item number. Okay, and another one would be customer. Okay, connecting using its customer number to invoice that cost number. Okay, and then the supplier is connecting to the item. Okay, let's check the item table first. Okay, the item table has supplier number that acts as a foreign key to the primary key of the supplier number of the supplier table. So we'll just use that one. Okay, so and okay, item that supplier number is equal to supplier that supplier number. Okay, so no more conditions. Okay, you've got no more conditions, then this is good as it seems. So there we go. We just displayed a transaction details that Sunny sold popcorn mix to Renante, which was distributed by F2F Logistics. Another one would be sold ice candy to Rachel, which was distributed by F2F Logistics also. So that is our query for the last item before the bonus question. So let's copy this one and then let's paste it here. Okay. Let's kind of long answer. Okay, then there we go. So that is our query for that transaction. Okay, so the last bonus question, okay, this is not included in the total points, but it will act as an incentive if you got the right answer. So we have to display a query with the names of the employee, customer name, item name, the price of the item, the amount tendered, and then the change. Okay, so employee name, customer name, item name, and price, as well as the amount tendered and customer change. Okay, so let's answer this one because we still have a lot of time. Okay, so select, let's say, employees. Okay, we'll be pulling out its emp name. Okay, and then the customer, that cost name. Okay, the item, that item name. Okay, and then the price of that item that item underscore price. Okay, and then the amount tendered, so the amount tendered is present on the invoice. Okay, so invoice that amount tendered. Okay, so and then the uh last part is the change of the customer from the transaction. So the change will be computed using the amount tendered and the item price. So we'll just have to indicate an arithmetic operation on this one. So let's invoice. Okay, let's call on invoice. Sorry. Invoice that amount underscore tendered, this minus the item, that item price. Okay, and it will be displayed as let's say change. Okay, so this is the only twist on this transaction. You just have to have an arithmetic operation with the amount tendered minus the item price that will display as the change. Okay, and this query will be relying on the employees. Okay, employees, the customer, the item, and then the invoice. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so these tables will connect to each other with a where clause, where the employees will connect via its employee number to the invoice, that employee number. Okay, another one would be from customer. Okay, using its customer number primary key, connecting to the invoice with a foreign key of customer number. And okay, and then the last one would be the item. Okay, item, that item number primary key, connecting to the item, that or invoice, that item number foreign key. So that is our query. So let's check on this one. Then there we go. We have the name of the employee, the customer who bought it, the item that they bought, the price of the item, the amount that they just paid, and their change. Okay, so you can actually see the result of this arithmetic operation. Okay, so 50 minus 20 is of course 30, and it just displayed that as a change, and other transaction as well. So this is the answer for the bonus question. So let's copy this one and then paste it on our box here. Okay, remove spacing, and then there we go. That is the answer for our exercise. Okay, so I hope you learned something regarding on how to answer these queries here. Okay, and as usual, If you have any question, you can just ask me, and I'll try to answer it by next meeting. Okay. So again, thank you and have a nice day.